All right. For anybody that might be following CTD Among Blacks, I'm sorry we're having a glitch before. We have a very big person we are waiting to join us on CTD Among Black Podcast. First ever. We're waiting for Cynthia Morgan. For everybody that know her very well in the music industry in Nigeria, I think our internet is trying to connect, and I'm waiting for her. Oh, thank you very much. How you doing? I will try to readdress myself to you. My name is Oyebanji Akins, and this is CTD Among Blacks, and our podcast is about bridging the gap and connecting all the dots. And fortunately, through a friend of mine, I got hold on your stories. You're posting on your personal page, Instagram, and I've been a fan of yours for a while. And a lot have been happening in the music industry about about your career, about your life, and everything like that. So it's a privilege you're coming online to shed some light on where you've been and what has been going on. And if you don't mind, I was able to talk to you for a couple of seconds before we came online. If you don't mind, I would like to start by getting to talk a couple of questions to ask your mom. Then, if it is okay by you, then you could join us again to now be able to express yourself. I don't know, maybe the internet is bad. I'm trying to get the internet right because I'm not sure you can see me. And, I can see a lot of your fans are coming in, saying a lot of prayers for you. And, I can see people saying they miss you. A lot of questions are coming, but not to deviate from the main thing we need. Would you like your mom would you want to say one or two things before I allow your mom to, take some questions on how you want us to go about it? So thank you. Let me talk to your mom first. So let me get that
Okay.
respect from your mom, then we can get into the full questioning.
Okay. She would have to sit here because of the light.
Yes, that's fine.
All right.
Hello.
God bless you, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am. Nice to meet you, ma'am. It's a privilege, having to see the mom that gave birth to Cynthia Morgan. Cynthia Morgan is big in Nigeria, and it's a privilege having to have your face. I'm sure a lot of fans might not have seen your face, being a mom, and I think this will really clear some things and to let us know. And I see a lot of people coming online, say a lot of prayers for her right now. So my only thing I want to ask you, mom, is like, how have everything been going with Cynthia Morgan? A lot of stories have been out there about her health, about her career. A lot of people have different stories. So I would like you to give us at least a couple of things you'd like to share as a mother to Cynthia, if you don't mind, ma'am.
As the only daughter I have, things have been very rough with her. I don't know how to even put it. If I thank you very, very much, I'll be waiting for this kind of opportunity.
You're welcome, man.
She has been sick. She was sick from one thing to the other. That's how it get to the extent that a mother will be looking at the child and be crying. It has gotten to that. So I don't really know what to do. I have been begging God. It's only God that I put my trust on. Okay. And it's only Him that I hope on. And this opportunity, I'm very happy because I'll be praying that God should give me helpers that will be able, because she herself cannot be able to say what she has passed through. Because if you want to start talking from, I don't know how she's even going to say it. So I thank you very much.
You're welcome very much, ma'am. And there's a saying in my country, so let's hear from the horse mouth. We don't know, bringing everything out. What exactly is going on, ma'am? What is going on with Cynthia? What happened? And what really go wrong? Being the mother that you've been taking care of her, and I can see that you're with her right now, and that's a very good thing, and I appreciate you for doing that, because not every kids in Nigeria of today have motherly love, in the sense that to see them staying behind them. So having you to stay behind and having this to say one or two things before we talk to why something. Can you tell us what is going on? What happened? What is a lot of stories is just out there. You said you need help, but if even though somebody want to help or to come in terms of whatever story that have been in the past, what exactly is happening, and how can
what happened? First of all, was the record label. That one we have to go through, that they tell lies against her. As a mother, I was still crying because The lot of things they said against about her was not true. And everything they put on the internet, but there was no way I could come out and say this was not really what happened. But this present situation, because they said I'm a Benin woman, the what is now happening is after set and done with the prayers and everything, it was the prince issue that came up. I think about 3. It has been for over how many years? But as a Benin, I'm a baby. So I just decided and said we can settle it amicably within ourselves. But I'll be calling the prince. I'll be sending message. Please let me come. Don't come and see me because you are the prince. As you say, I'm a commoner. Let me come and meet you wherever you are, or so that I can beg you if there's anything that my daughter has done against, so that you please forgive her. So, and I've been saying she want to put it on the internet. I said no, you can't. Instead, I've been looking for. I even told some of my cousins, my brothers, and said I'm ready to go and meet the Oba by myself, because he's somebody that will respect. He's a father. Because I cannot say let me be fighting against I'm a Benin typical woman, the daughter of the soil. I cannot begin to fight because I feel if I'm fighting with the son, I'm fighting the Benin kingdom. But this one is more than me. That day before yesterday, she had to, I was not even at home. About 3 days, she brought. I said no. I told you not to bring this thing out on internet. Why? She was not crying and said, if she die, will I love that one best? I said okay. I'll be trying so that we see our father, our royal father, by ourselves. But there was no way, because the person that would have leave me, that's my senior cousin, is late now. But I was having it other people. People were saying, okay, me this. Until I got a letter from the court yesterday that they said Zeleka from his lawyer and said they are taking us to taking her to court. I said that they want her to retract the statement that she made, that it's not him. That he did. What pained me most is that he said he didn't even know my daughter. I can even recount a day he brought my daughter to the father's as well. If all these things have even how to me and the father even separate. The father said she should go and get married. Until I started going to prayers and everything, like, what was the cause of all this? That you have to say this is the cause. It's somebody. In fact, if I have to say because she's my only. Because if I lose her, they will first of all bury me before the burial. And enough is enough. He said right from the day of John, he said the kingdom of God cover, but far let's take it by force. He have to come out to really say he didn't know Cynthia. Then the way he called her. Whenever sometimes I'm hearing the two of them, they are talking on the phone. When they are talking on the phone, I'll say, who is this place? Say it's the prince. If sometimes we say because that's what I agree to. I'll say greet her and I'll not be your friend. Just coming up yesterday, bringing paper that he didn't even know her. The thing pained me to my bone. My daughter knows I'm a very soft person. I don't make trouble. Even when they will send somebody to lure me as a person, I'm a gospel artist by the grace of God. I'm a CEO of the Gorgeous Praise Band. But everybody knows I'm a very down-to-earth person. I'm a minister. But I don't say what I don't want. But if it comes to the one that this boy want to kill my only daughter, I think I have to see. Oba talk where he say, "La mogun no kwa, la wo baba." So ma ona do bomo yomobo. Yone se ni keniana iwawe ni bu we ga de ni imi awe. Oni imi eze no lao no give me a man mo. Ikiameti aragbon. Omo no salo ba te mo me no wi obome. Okay no wi right. Okay na gboya le ti e bon. Ikiameti. Ikoregbe no vivomo. No pani be mo yi mo be. I don't have any other child apart from her. Please, people should help me beg him. I should please. If there's any way my daughter have offended, that's what I'll be planning to see. And that's what I'll be saying. Let me see him all this. So I'll beg him. I have his number on my phone. Since the day he does not know my daughter any longer. But me, I know him.
Mommy, I want to ask you a couple of questions if you don't mind. I could see the motherly care from how you're expressing yourself. And I'm going by that to basically ask you this. A lot of people are saying a lot of things. They're praying for Cynthia Morgan. A lot of people are saying like there's no evidence. A lot of people are saying she'll get over this, and I pray she's going to get over this. But I want you to understand that the platform we're using to do this, we have to respect in every angle. And what I mean by saying that is, when you mention the whole Prince of Benin, that's a big name. Being a Nigerian, being somebody that respects culture, being somebody that respects values and norms. And, Cynthia Morgan has had a lot of stories surrounding her, career, a lot of spectators have been saying a lot of things about her. But like you're saying, we're focusing on one thing. And what you're saying is begging the prince to let your daughter go. And the question I want to ask you is, you kind of paraphrase from your story, like, the date or something like that happened. And, their lawyer sent a letter to you yesterday saying you guys should not say anything, or they should not even say anything that they ever met. And one thing I want to ask you is this: is there any evidence to this? If there's yes, ma'am, what really happened? Did Cynthia, your daughter, dated the Prince of Benin? Was there any kind of like you said, you do know when they do talk on phone, you can hear them talking, and they've come to your house and whatever part of the story you tell me. But what I want to bring out is, Mommy, if you don't mind, can you tell me how does Cynthia move from a music career, attaching it to the Prince? And if the Prince have anything to do in terms of relationship with Cynthia, do you have evidence? And if you're begging for the Prince to let Cynthia go right now, what do you mean by saying let her go? Is there's a traditional marriage that happens somewhere, or is this more about spiritual way, or what exactly really is going on in terms of we trying to use our platform and Nigerians to help Cynthia to be able to put the news out there, to have the real correct story?
What I mean by that is, in Benin, when something starts happening and the thing is recurring every time, you have to look for solution.
Yeah.
You have to look for solution. I can't just wake up and start forging stories about the Prince. How she and my daughter met was through music. I think he said he booked her one time that when at the coronation of the father, I think she was there, but he later booked her for an event or so. That's what a musician should do. That if you have an event, you can book any musician to play for you. Then that was when they met, and he said they have a meeting one time like that. They have meeting. Well, they were friends. That's what I know. Even while she was even sick, I even make a call across to him and said his friend was sick, and he said he was even coming to her because he brought her the first time. They came to the father's house the first time together, but this time he could not locate the place again. That he even showed us a signboard, and of which when I look at that place, it was the junction of our house, that he could not trace the place again. It was then he got angry and went back because there was no light. The time she now used my phone to be calling him, he said he's gone and he's gone, he's not coming back. I would say, why will you be angry? Do you even know the state that you're very sick? I said, okay. From then, I don't know what happened. Because I don't know what happened. It was when she was very sick that I have to start going. If it were, I didn't even want to go all this before, because I said in Benin just now, all this, if you want this kind of something, it's not going to court. But if you go to the police, they don't believe in this bewitch and everything. So I was just trying away, praying, and say the only prayer that God sent help us so that I can meet our father. That's the royal father. That's the Oba, so that I can please beg him to help me beg the son. That's all I've been planning to do until yesterday, that he sent people to give me a letter that I didn't know her and everything. The thing shocked me.
So, Mom, if I get you right, you want the Prince to forgive Cynthia and basically of whatever happened in the past, or to free her of what exactly? Because that part I want to understand how that works. You gave me the story of saying she was sick, and the Prince was trying to come to the house, and for some reason it turned back because he doesn't understand the address, which it makes sense. But now that we're having this conversation, why do you want the prince to let go? What happened? There's something around that part that I want to understand. Maybe you can be able to give me the story, or Cynthia can come online to really tell me, like, what is really happening? Because now, if you're begging to let the prince to let her go, is she being held back in the terms of, that's what I'm saying, like, is there some kind of relationship going on, or what exactly is happening? And that's the part I want to, Cynthia has been out for a long
Yes.
time. A lot of stories is out there about her. A lot of things is really out there. Some people make it about Burna Boy, some people make it about the record label. Now we're making it's about the prince. And that's what I'm saying, like, now that we're calling out a whole Royal Highness, to come into this. A lot of Nigerians will have different story to this. A lot of different meanings will come for it. But having the opportunity of talking to you is something we can hold on to, that, and people can copy this, or people can coach you on this. So that's what I'm asking you, like, what exactly is the part you really want the prince to come into the picture? Even though we are calling that Royal Highness, we're calling that particular, because now a whole Benin is into this, because we're using the name of calling them. And that's why I'm like, what exactly happened? Where did everything go wrong? And why do you want the prince to release her?
Okay.
Yes.
The thing is that she will be in the best place to explain this properly.
All right.
But when the thing started, I started asking my daughter a lot of questions. That's after going out to to pray and everything. When things started happening, the way I never expected it, there are a lot of things she told me, of which I cannot say that online. Is if I see our father, or I see the prince himself, I'll be able to relate that with him. Because there was even a time, the one that because once I said is that if there's any way that my daughter has offended him, he should please forgive. Or maybe they have anything to get. I know they did not have anything, because if I ask my daughter a question, she will definitely tell me. She'll be telling me everything that will be happening. That's just it. Then she's in best position to say this.
Okay, ma'am.
But I'm seeing, yes.
I will appreciate if you can allow Cynthia to, come online to be able to. Right now, a lot of fans are really, which me too, I'm joining them to say whatever she might have done to the prince, to please forgive her. But I would like to know, if we're really calling Prince out on social media, where people will say, why didn't you use somebody that you know? You already said, like, you've been trying to reach out to them. You couldn't get a hold of somebody that will allow you to talk to him or to talk to the king. And that's one of the reasons why I think we're having this conversation. But like I said, I would still like to know we can't put everything out for the sake of privacy, for the sake of the respect, for the sake of the entire Benin, because we can't just, drag anything basically because it's from Cynthia Morgan. But that doesn't mean we should let our story die off. That doesn't mean we shouldn't hear from her. So that's what I'm saying. If we're using this platform on this particular podcast to beg on Cynthia Morgan side for the prince, we still need to know, what did you do? What go wrong? How did you think in your own head or in your own mind something might have gone wrong for make you to want to apologize to the prince, or hoping to get the prince to forgive you so that you can have a freedom of, how you want to live your life. Like I said, we haven't seen Cynthia more than 2, 3, 4 years in the music industry. So there's a lot of things that surround this using to call the prince. People might say, are you calling the prince out to get your fan base back? But I wouldn't want to say that. And that's what I'm saying. If she can, sit down, answer 1 or 2, 3 questions for me, that might help in terms of our fans, the kind of information they take out from this particular interview that we're having. So, do you think she'll be able to answer 1 or 2, 3 questions, if you don't mind, ma'am?
That's me or Cynthia?
If you can answer the question, that'll be fine. But if you think Cynthia will be the best person,
no, she in the best position to answer it. So let her come in.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. It was nice talking to you, ma'am. All right, Cynthia Morgan, thank you very much for allowing your mom to say 1 or 2 things to us. And one thing I want to tell you is this: we are not in a court of law. You understand? But I want you to understand, social media is a place where it doesn't forget things. They will coach you on it. Even sometimes you might not remember, you say 1 or 2 words. People will go back to that video and they will show it to you like you said this. So without not saying everything about your private world, your mom, she has been able to tell us 1 or 2 things. But the question I want to ask you is, what happened? You know, your mom is saying we should all, as a fans, join you to beg the prince to let you go, to free you. And I would want you to give us a story about you and him, and in terms of people who have enmity for you or for him. But I want you to really tell me a little bit about why do you want us to beg the prince for you, just like Momsi said. I'm going by Momsi word. Or what is that thing you like to let the world know?
Well, I think my mom is just being diplomatic.
Which is,
you know, she's a mom.
Nice.
Yeah, she's been diplomatic. And you know, I didn't do anything to him. Like, he knows, you know, if he's gonna be sincere with himself.
So you really know the Prince of Benin?
Are you joking?
No, I'm good. You know, people haven't seen your face for a very long time.
Okay.
People haven't had somebody asking you questions. So I'm standing at like hundreds of millions of people in Nigeria that love your music, that have used your music to change their life. That's why I'm asking you the question again. So it might sound disrespectful to you. Don't see it as that. I'm just trying to make it in a way where the story will make sense. So please, tell us a little bit about what happened between you and the prince, and how you end up calling the prince out like we're doing right now.
Okay, yeah. So you know, before we started this conversation, before we brought it out here, I had a conversation with you. Definitely. You know, trying to tell you everything that I know from my own perspective. You know, I met him in January. I met him on the 31st night, 2018. You know, like the crossover to 2018. That was when I met him. He had contacted me through Maleke Ido for his concert. He was having a crossover concert, and they booked me for it. I went there, we met, I performed. Like I told you, I met him, it was with a girl. Like, there was a lady standing right beside him. So I thought he was married. You know, like I said, I don't know, probably because of a lot of the royal movies that I've seen, I didn't know you could actually see a prince standing next to a woman that is not either betrothed to him or married to him. So even when I was performing, I didn't go close to him. Female presence, I didn't go close to him. It was after I had performed a lot that someone came, one of his aides came and told me to come and dance with him. Do you understand me? And then when I got close to him, like, you know, we were, you know, vibing, and I saw the way he smiled. I'm like, okay, you know, I just took it like on a very, I didn't want to pay much attention into it. So after my performance, I went back to my hotel. On my way back to my hotel, we had an accident, like a very minor accident. I would call it, I would call it minor, because, you know, I'm a Benin woman, and at the same time, by the special grace of God, I'm a prophetess by calling. So even before I went to Benin, I was prayed up. I knew what I was expecting. I knew who I was going to go and meet, and I knew, you know, anything can happen. So, and I know, it means if you don't do bad, you can't die bad. So you contacted me to come perform for you. I'm not going to die in the process of coming to perform for you or coming to honor you. Even I told you, the fee that they paid me wasn't even up to the fee that I take for shows.
I remember
I went.
you telling me that.
Yes, because it's the Crown Prince. That was the reason why I went. So when we had that accident, like, it was the side I was sitting on, the driver bumped into another car. So even when I got down from the car, I didn't quarrel with him. I told him thank you, and I left. Because you should know, if you listen to my music, I might be doing secular music, but I'm not an ordinary person. I'm not an ordinary person. So I came down from the car and I went to my room. It was the next day, because Maleke didn't pay me my money completely. He had paid me 800,000. So the next day when he came to my hotel room to pay me the balance 200,000, that was when he told me that the prince is asking after you. Like, he's very bothered. I don't even know why. In Maleke's, I'm going to quote Maleke. In quote, he said, I don't even know why he's so bothered about you. Like, you get what they find for inside the matter. Now, waiting Maleke talk be that. If I had the line, I've been in a day, God there for heaven. Instead of big guy, so me, I look Maleke, I smell, I know talk. I say, because me, I even thought he was married. I can't say, waiting, if he I thought he was married. I said, waiting, I said, I thought he was just being as a normal human being. You know, he just cared. Okay, so an artist came to my show, and you know, she had an accident. So a normal human being should be worried. You know, I was looking at Maleke like, I don't understand. So he said, he not told me, he said, the prince would like to come and say hello to you. I said, why not? You don't reject. He's royal, you know, and you know, you don't reject when he says he wants to come and say hello to you. I can't reject him. Let him come. So when he came, I waited for him. When he came,
do you have any evidence of you know, being around in pictures that people can see? And one of your fans is saying like, I don't want you to. What you know? Which particular prince are you talking about? You know, people want to know the name that you're talking, because you know you've been saying him, you verified. I don't want you to mention the name so many times, but at least give us the one time, and then you can continue your story without not trying to put the name back to back on this particular live.
Okay, you want me to call his name?
Not to call him out. I just wanted to say the name one time so that whoever that missed it can go back to listen to this. But I don't want to keep mentioning his name. Yes.
You know, his name is Crown Prince Ezelehai Ewari. You know, that's his name. You know, I think I'll need to, I think I have to top up my, I forgot, you know, I told you I'm going to top up my unit. So can I just briefly do that? Just stay on the line, please.
All right. Yes. All right. No problem.
Yes.
So for anybody that might be listening to this, why Cynthia is, you know, trying to top up our credit card, call card, you know, being in Nigeria. One thing I want to understand is for anybody that been our fans, we're trying to get to know Cynthia, and you know, she's been out for a while in the music industry. We haven't heard a lot from her, and now through some information that was going out, you know, I was able to jump to have this interview we're having, and it's about saying she's, you know, our mom has been able to tell us she's trying to apologize to the prince, and that's where we are right now. She's trying to, you know, give her the story of what really happened. So I was just trying to tell your fans why you're trying to load your card, so you could continue your story right now.
Yeah. Where did I stop?
Are you trying to tell me about, you know, he invited you, came, you saw him, and I was asking, do you have any evidence?
Yes, like okay, yeah. There's a picture of that on my page. I posted it yesterday because like what my mom said. My after I post, I told him, I called him. I've called him several times. I send him messages. Sometimes I will curse him out, you know, and he knows I'm really someone, like, I'm very careful with because of what the things I say, because of who I am. So like, I hardly curse people out. So sometimes, and I liked him a lot. And he used to be someone that I respected so much. So it'd be hard. Like, I had to get to that point. Like, you know what? Like, talk to me. Like, what's going on? Like, have a conversation. Like, yeah. You asked me out. He was very straight to the point. Like, he told me. He said, I'm talking to you because I want to marry you. He didn't hide it. He didn't say I should be his girlfriend. Do you understand me? And that was the reason why I was very, very careful. Because, you know, dating is one thing, but marrying somebody is another thing. Do you understand me? So he was very straight to the point. So that was where the issue came about. I told him, I said, guy, because we were always having issues. Do you understand me? We never used to get along physically, but spiritually, he would tell me stuff. I would see him, I would see his intentions. But physically, it was obvious that he was always trying to, you know, like, hide something from me. That was the reason why.
If you don't mind me asking you just a quick, you said, you know, you understand him spiritually. Is this something that was known to him, or was just you being able to interpret that part every time you guys are around? If you say you don't have an issue with him physically, but you have an issue when it comes to, like, spiritually,
no,
was it something that was known?
First, in the beginning, I was having, I understood him spiritually. I didn't understand him physically. Okay. You know, like, he was very very expressive to me. Like I would sing him, I would know, he would tell me his intentions, like whatever. But then when I try to apply what I'm saying spiritually to him, physically, you know, it's obvious that he wasn't responding the way I see him in my sleep, you know, in my dreams. So that was when I knew, like, okay, I think something is off. And I told him, I said, I would like us to be friends. Do you understand me? I was like, you know, because like we don't get along. Like we weren't getting along, especially when it comes to the religious angle. Like, you know, he's a prince. I don't know if he can be a Christian prince. I have no idea. But before he met me, I was a Christian. I'm still a Christian. So I'll tell you, that was the major problem. So I was trying to get him to have that conversation. Like, is it possible for me to marry you and be a Christian? Is it possible for us to get married and be Christians? But he was avoiding that conversation. Do you understand? He was avoiding that conversation, like someone that's trying to cajole you, like, oh, you know, today he's saying, oh, I want to start going to church, you know, blah, blah, blah. Me, I'm like, okay. And then tomorrow he's telling me another thing. I'm trying to understand. So at the time I was starting my company. I just left my label and, you know, I was trying to start my company. So I wanted to be very, very focused. And that was the reason I told him, I said, guy, let's just be friends.
Do you think while you're going through, you want to start your own record label, get into the Prince, the relationship that was happening? Do you think that have a role to play? And where exactly are you right now with the Prince? Are you guys still in good terms, which I know you're not? But what happened? Was it more from you or from the Prince? Or how did this happen where, you know, like your mom is saying, like, let's help you to apologize to the Prince. They're trying to get hold on him. You two, you're trying to get hold on him to... Is it to let you free, or what exactly are you looking for? And what happened that gets you to this level?
Like I said, he is a prince. Yes, he's a prince, but he's not God. You understand me? He's not God. If he's been sincere with himself, he would know that I'm one of the most... Even when I met him, he complained about another girl, the lady that I said I saw him with. He told me how the lady was rude to him. He even complimented me. He told me he took the most humble people that he has ever met, that the person didn't care if you know, the kind of respect, like I was according the respect I was given to his father. That was the same respect that I was giving to him. And he told me in quotes, in his word, he said the only people that have ever respected him as much as I respected him was myself and the late Captain Oosa. That was what he told me. So how can you now say I offended this person?
So maybe there's a fight, there's no fight from the story you're telling me, which shows you're not the Prince. How did you not get to the fact you're saying they sent you, the lawyer sent you a letter saying there's no part of you even crossing paths with the Prince?
Yes, that's what the letter said. You know, I understand, like, you know, you can deny whatever, but the only reason why I'm bringing this out now to the public is because I've been dealing with this in private for 6 years. Yes, 6 years. And it's just that, like I told you, you know, before I met him, I told you about the dream that I had about him. So I was already aware that I was going to meet him. I was going to meet him a year before I met him. Yes, I was aware I was going to meet him a year before I met him. So when I met him, I was very prepared. Do you understand me? And that was the reason why I was very diplomatic. So I'm like, okay, if I finally call this person out, what am I going to say? This is someone that you liked. This is someone that you respected, you know, and this is someone that I believe, because like it's obviously God that showed me that, okay, you're going to meet this person before I met him. So like, why are things like this? Me personally, I was blaming the devil. Do you understand me? Me, that was me. I was blaming the devil. I was like, okay, I believe that, okay, the enemy wants you guys to be fighting so that the whole public will, you know, everybody we know that you guys are fighting. You know, obviously, whatever God has ordained, it doesn't come easy. So that was my perspective.
Then.
Yes.
So
and that was
my question is now,
Mm-hmm.
do you want you guys to get back? Do you want to apologize? Do you want the prince to apologize? Where exactly are we right now? Is it more of you believe there's some spiritual thing that needs to be done to let you lose? You know, your career has been on hold. People are saying maybe I remember there was time people were saying you're on drugs, some people are saying you're depressed, some people are saying it has to do with the record label, some people are saying you mismanage yourself, some people drag Burna Boy into this story. There's a lot of story that's around, you know, Cynthia Morgan herself. Now that people are seeing you for the first time over, you know, like you told me there was a time you did some interviews, somebody kind of moving around in different ways. Now they are seeing your face. What exactly, one thing I think people have been holding for this conversation is you want to bet the prince. And is that a narrative you want to put out from this particular interview?
That's my mom's perspective.
Okay, so what is your own perspective?
My perspective, I want us to have a conversation. Like,
with the prince?
Yes, it's been a minute. The last time he called me, the last time we had a conversation on the phone was like 2020. Yes. And it was my manager that had to call him because I was very unstable. I kept saying the same thing. I kept telling them, like, I'm not okay. Like, this is where this thing is coming from. So my manager had to call him and told him that she's not okay. You have to call her. And then he called me. Well, I said, I've been trying to reach you. Why are you not taking my, because I was sending him messages. I was calling him. He even blocked my number. So it was through another number that I was using to reach him. I was sending him messages, I was calling him. And then he told me, it was like, he lost someone, that he lost a friend during COVID. That was what he told me. And then he said, you would have known that I would have always called you back. I'm like, how do I know? Are we married? We're not married. John, understand this. There's one thing for you to be fighting with your husband, and then you know that your husband will always come back home. No matter, we're not married. We're not even in good terms. I don't understand what's going on. So you don't expect me to, and I'm not okay because like when I sleep like this, it's him that I'm saying. There were times I would drive from when I was in Benin. That was like in 2019. I would wake up in the morning like 6 a.m. I would drive to his gym because he has a gym. He has a gym in Benin. I would drive to his gym to look for him. I was looking for this guy around the whole of Benin City to have a conversation with him. That guy, I didn't say no to you to disrespect you because I feel like that's what he thinks. Like, okay, this person said no to me to spite me or to belittle me. That is anger. Do you understand me? So I was looking for him. I'm like, that was the conversation that I wanted to have with him. I didn't say no to you to spite you. This is the reason.
If I get you right, the Cynthia Morgan that we know, you know, she was big, everything was going on. The conversation of today that people are seeing you, your fans are seeing you online today, is about you having a relationship with the Prince of Benin, and you know, with due respect to the throne. What you want from this conversation today is there have been some lapses between you and him over the time of your career and everything, and you're using this opportunity to, I'm not going to say we have the right, it's not in my mouth to call out the old prince, but being the relationship you have that you've shared with us on this particular episode, this particular interview, you want the prince to give you opportunity to talk to you, if I get it right.
Yeah.
To be able to express yourself about some things.
Thank you. Exactly. Because he misunderstood me. And well, it's really normal. Like, you can misunderstand people and then you leave them, let them go and live their life. You can say, okay, like, fuck this person. I don't care about you. Like, go, you disrespected me or you misunderstood me. Go your way. But in this situation, like I said, for 6 years, I haven't been in a relationship. And every time I try to be in a relationship, even when I'm talking, let's say I'm talking to someone, I'm like, okay, I think I can settle down with this person. Anything that makes me think outside settling down with him, anything that makes me think outside settling down with someone else, I see him in my dreams. Do you understand me?
I do get the part, but I will ask you this for the purpose of people that might not understand one thing about what you're saying. Do you think this having trying to move on with a new relationship, Is it that you're still in love with him? Which I'm sorry to say that, I just want to clear that part. Or is it more about you feeling like there's some spiritual way attached to the fact that you can't just move on? Or is it about the fact that, when you met him, your career was all together and somebody you believe in and you find yourself to move on? Which part are you actually?
Well, when I met him, I was in a good place in my career. If I'm going to be sincere, I had issues with my label. I didn't put it out. It wasn't out there. I met him in 2018. I left my record label. My contract with my label expired in 2017, October. And I met him in same 2017, 31st night. Do you understand me? So I was ready to start a new phase of my life. So I was really excited. When I met him, it was a plus. Do you understand me? Like, oh my God, like amazing. If we were gonna get married, at least I'll have a helper that is, going to help me to propel me to my destiny. Do you understand me? But then I found out that we were always at loggerheads, and it was affecting me. And then that was when I told him, let's be friends. As friends, I can call you and you do not pick up. I won't get angry. But if we are dating, I'll get angry. And that will be affecting me.
So it's more like the closure from the prince, even though you guys are no more together.
Well, I don't. Now, let me tell you. I wouldn't say I need a closure because, bro, I've been trying to get closure for 3 years. I almost went crazy. Like I said, the last time I spoke to him was like 2020. Do you understand me? This is me trying to relieve. Yes, the last time we spoke was 2020. Yeah, I even saw him. I went to his office. I went to see him in his office. I had to call him. I told you that he blocked my number. I had to call him with another number, and he is. I don't know if it's with me or that's how he is. He's very short-tempered. He's very short-tempered. Even the first time I met him, the day he came to my hotel to come say hello to me about the incident that I had, he had a confrontation with Maleke, and I had to step in. Yes. So that picture sort of like didn't leave my head. I was like, okay, I feel like.
Do you think this affects your music industry, personal, like your music career?
It's me that does music now.
Do you think your relationship with the prince, trying to move on, you haven't been in a relationship, does that kind of have a way of having to play in your career?
I don't understand.
Okay, let me get out of that part. What we're trying to get is for you to be able to have a closure with the prince. You want to talk to him because you feel like there's a lot going on that you want to clear with him,
and
so that you can be able to move on.
Now, if he doesn't want to talk to me, let me be sure that okay, fine. It's like when two people have like a soul tie. I don't know if you know what a soul tie is.
Definitely, I do.
Yes. So yes, I feel like I know that's the problem. Like we have a soul tie. So it takes a conversation. Are we going to have a conversation to move on? Do you understand me? Or be together? Do you get me? Yes.
So that's the conversation you really, really want to have with the prince. So if you're able to have that conversation with the prince and everything goes, is it like a conversation where you won't have to grant this interview, which hopefully this might trigger, somebody might be able to reach out to the prince and said, Cynthia is dragging your name on this and this is going on, which I know they would definitely know because she said a lawyer sent a letter to you saying they don't know, have anything to do with you. But in your own personal life, do you think you didn't do anything where the prince have to block you out? If I should ask you.
Block me out in what sense?
In terms of, you're trying to reach out to him and he's not giving you that audience right now because you're trying to talk to him.
The reason why he blocked me was when I tried to tell him that I know what he's doing. That was when he blocked me. That was in 20, what year was that? That was in 2019. It was actually a day after his birthday. Yes. Because, when I met him, I was seeing the signs, I was seeing everything, but I was just really calm. I was being very diplomatic about it, So I was like, because I'm not really someone that, I don't like to have phone conversations. I would like to see you. If we're going to fight, let's fight. If we're going to be friends, let's be friends. But let me see you. Because some people can misunderstand your phone conversations. So
Definitely.
on his birthday is on I think his birthday is on the 8th of March. Yes, it's on the 8th of March. I can't forget because I always call him on his birthday. The only time I never called him on his birthday is this year because I was fed up. If he picks or he doesn't pick, I'll send him a text. Happy birthday. Because I promised him, because like the first year that we met, that was in 2018. I didn't know it was his birthday. I forgot his birthday. So when I called, so I called him that day. I was like, because he had told me that his birthday was in that month. So I called him. I was like, oh, so what are you doing for your birthday? He was like, today is my birthday. I was like, yo, I promise I'm never going to forget your birthday. So even when we were fighting, I always called him or I would send him a message. So in 2019, on his birthday, I called him that morning. I was like, bro, I've been keeping a lot to myself. I think it's time for me to tell him, let him know that, okay, fine. Let's have a conversation. So I called him, happy birthday. He was like, hey, he was excited. He said his family was over, that he was going to call me afterwards. So I sent him a text. I was like, yo, I'd like to see you. Let's have a conversation. I can't even remember what I got him. Okay, I got him an ace of spade. I had an ace of spade in the house that someone gave to me. So I was going to give it to him for his birthday. So I sent him a text, he said he was going to get back to me. He didn't get back to me till the next day. That was when I now said, I got angry. I said, guy, like, how far? So immediately I confronted him, like, how far? Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Do you understand me? Me, myself, I be human being. Who you be? That was when he blocked me.
Oh.
Yes.
That's huge. I think I kind of understand from your story now. And, a lot of people are saying a lot of questionings. I don't want to get into the question. A lot of people are saying different things. But one thing I want to bring out is, from everything you've told us, is, a lot of people haven't seen your face. Can you just tell the world how you doing personally in your personal life? A lot of your fans are saying a lot of questions. I'm not trying to deviate from the Prince a little bit, but give your fans a little bit about, how are you doing? And then the last question I think I want to ask you is, what do you think? Don't you think personally yourself how you said you kind of show some kind of, what do you think you are? Is that the reason why the Prince doesn't want to give you the audience again?
No, afterwards,
don't let us forget we're talking about a whole Prince of Benin.
No, like, guy, afterwards we spoke. He knows he did me wrong. Yeah, afterwards, it was 2020. He even when he blocked me, I sent him, I said, I'm sorry, even though I wasn't supposed to apologize because he did me wrong. I don't care who you are. I don't care. I don't care. I didn't look for you. You were the one that looked for me.
When you said he did you wrong, is this something you want to say to the world or something you want to keep private for the sake of the royalty of the entire Benin city? When you said he did you wrong, is this something you want to talk online or you want to keep that private? I think she's trying to, maybe she's getting a call, or I'm guessing she's gonna be back very quick. But I can see our internet trying to load. And for you that might be watching, this is CTDAmongblacks, and we have Cynthia Morgan, which is known. Hopefully she's gonna get back. Just bear with us. I'm waiting for her to get back. We're still trying to wait for Cynthia to get back on here. Hopefully she get back. I think she's loading right now. Let me accept.
Let me raise this call.
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
you
well.
kind of lost the network, so I was guessing you're coming back.
Yes.
All right. Glad to have you back. Like I was saying, you're trying to explain something to me before your network went off.
Yeah, so we had conversations after then. I even went to see him, and he told me about his gym. He wanted me to come, work out in his gym and all of that stuff. But because mom, take the curtains up. But because what I had been through with him, I was scared. Like, it was a scary situation, like, for real. The fact that I didn't confront him about it doesn't mean I don't know what's going on. Do you understand me? So when he told me all those things, I said, okay, no problem, that I was going to think about it. When I got home, I made up my mind, like, a day later, that, okay, I'm just going to talk to this guy about this thing. Maybe it's because I'm not being expressive with him. Maybe he doesn't understand. Do you understand? Because really, I was holding a lot back, because I'm not, first and first, I'm a very career-oriented person. I don't really care about men. If you know me, go and ask all my exes. Ask anybody that I've ever had anything to do with. They know me. I don't care, because the way I grew up, I grew up in Benin. I saw a lot of men take advantage of women when you don't have. So I grew up striving for myself, so that at least I will have. And, so men has never been my source of livelihood. Do you understand me? So I don't care. He works or he doesn't work. Go your way. You get me? Go your way. You can ask Burna Boy. You can ask anybody. I'm a rude girl. Let me be very plain with you.
But do you think saying the word you're a rude girl, and everybody can, this video might go so many places. Like I told you, this is internet will keep the history. Do you think that might not be one of the reasons why the prince has kind of distanced himself from you? Or you think it's about some story you're saying, you have some evidence which, might be one of the reasons why he's trying to, like...
That's I told you, with the crown prince, is the prince. Where I'm from, we respect
definitely.
Yes, we respect our prince. You understand? So even if relationship or no relationship, I had that respect for him. And you understand? And that's the reason why I didn't call him out on time. Do you get me? So like I said, me and the crown prince, our relationship wasn't about dating. He was straightforward with me. He told me, guy, so marriage conversation is different from, I'm dating this person. Yes, now it's different from dating conversations. But in as much, I'm still me. I won't let you disrespect me. I have my boundaries. Like, I have my boundaries.
And that even while I'm asking you, your fans are already saying rude might be rude. That doesn't mean you're rude. And like I said, I've talked to you before we went online, and I won't count you as somebody that is rude. I think your stage performance might be different from the real personality you have. And one thing I want to add to the question I'm asking you.
I'm saying, let me be very sincere with you. My stage performance, I'm the same person.
That's good.
Yes, I'm the same person. I'm not going to deny myself. I started music when I was 17. Yeah, fine. I might be a little bit more reserved as a person than, okay, I'm on stage, I'm dancing, I'm doing. But even with sex, I don't go to club. I don't club. If you know me, I don't club. I don't do alcohol. The only type of drugs I've ever done in my life is marijuana. So all those things that people are saying, my mom was here. You can ask her if I was on drugs. All those things that people are saying, now they know. There are people that know me. If there's anybody that I've ever done drugs with, let the person come out. Because for all the years that they've been saying my enemy was on drugs, some person for don't come and say, I'm not being Cynthia, when me and the guy that they do crap for, nobody don't come out like that now.
That's true. Because I don't think we have any information of somebody saying you're on drugs or anything like that. No, I don't think we have any kind of information. But Cynthia, I wanna make this particular episode with a stamp on it. So the reason why we're having this conversation is about you having the opportunity of talking to the Prince of Benin, for you to clear some clarity about whether spiritual or physical, in terms of you to express yourself. And like I told you before we get onto this particular video, a lot of people haven't seen your face for a very long time. And having to see your face now, the story we are holding on is about you having relationship with the prince. and it's not just a one-time thing. It's not just a fling. It's something that has to do with feelings. That's the word.
No, yes. Please let me what's the English? Let me retract you on that. We were never intimate.
Wow.
Yes, we were never intimate. I don't even know where he lives.
How did you not get to this? Should I use? I don't want to use the word entanglement, but how does this connection of having intimacy with a king, with a prince, and to the level where it's getting to you like this, to the level where you can't even have a relationship, to the level where you want a closure from him, make me understand how, because this one word you just said right now will go over a lot of people's head. Like, what do you mean you don't have intimacy with somebody and you're telling me you're so tired, you're this? How does that make sense? You understand?
Well, that's the reason why I would have loved to have this conversation with a Benin person. When Bicycle contacted me about your interviews, I asked him, I said, are you a Benin man? Because a Benin person would understand me better. So apparently, I feel like he's the prince, yeah? So I think like they're like chosen people. Like the prince there are people that is chosen for you. Like there's this particular person that is chosen for you, that is supposed to be your wife. Like a soulmate. Do you understand?
I try to turn off the comments. I don't want them to distract you from what you're saying.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you to everyone that is trying to understand. I know you didn't go through it, but at least you are trying to understand where I'm coming from.
I'll just take the moment. You don't have to cry. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, the comments were actually distracting me because I'm saying some of my fans, they are fighting for me. They have no idea what I've been through in the past 6 years. They have no fucking idea. And some people are still saying shit on this comment section.
I'm sorry, that's what I had to tell you.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Jesus.
Just stay strong. God's with you.
Jesus.
Now just take a moment. Yes. So I should have turned the comment off. It took me a while to realize that I shouldn't have allowed that.
Yeah.
Hope you're feeling better. Sorry about that.
I'm someone that
Just take the moment to take it in.
He knows that. I feel like he knows my true personality, and he tried to use that against me. He knew how much I respected him, and he tried to use that against me. That was the reason why I had to come out. I had to say it.
Just relax. Yeah, just we're online, and I don't want people to see Cynthia crying. You've been strong ever since we started this conversation, and that's one of the reasons why I turn off the comments, because people are saying a lot of trash, and I don't want that to distract you.
Let him come out. If he doesn't want to come out, let him leave me alone. Let him leave me alone. Last year, I called him. He picked up. He was very down because I had sent him a lot of messages before I called him. So when I called him, it was like really down. I was even surprised because someone that has been treating me like that, because he's been forming hard guy like over time. Like he's a gangster. Like, he's tough. He's a tough guy. He's tough. If people that know him know he's tough. He's been forming hard guy. So when I called him, his voice was down. I was worried too. Like I'm like, because I really cared about him. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, but I had to be strong for myself, like, you know, because I've been trying to be very calm with him. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just care about myself. Because normally I will ask him, like, are you okay? Yeah, I'll ask him, like, are you okay? Because he talks to me a lot. He told me, you know, the things he was dealing with. I'm gonna be private with that. I'm not gonna rat him out on everything that he's told me because we're having issues now, you know. So he's told me stuff. He's confided on me or in me about a couple of things that he's been dealing with himself. And that was the reason why I said, let's be friends. Let me see if this is something that I can do, I can deal with before I will enter. It wasn't because I was trying to disrespect him. It wasn't because I was trying to disrespect him.
Just take it easy. You know, Cynthia Morgan is a big name in Nigeria, and I don't think your fans would love to see you crying like this. Not because you don't have to show your emotion, but it's because a lot of people have used your song to be a better person, and you know, they vibe to your song, and they still vibe to you today. You know, I see some couple of comments.
They lied for my fans because of this thing that was going on, that I've been going through. You would see me, you would definitely think I'm on drugs because I don't talk. I have to be like very reserved. Like I have to be like very reserved because it's not everybody I can tell this thing to. They might actually even say, "Oh, you're crazy. You don't know what you're saying." I have to be like so quiet. I used to be a very happy person before all this. I used to be a very happy person. Like if it's too tough, I'll smoke my weed, and I had to stop smoking weed so I don't not say, "Oh, it's the weed that you're smoking."
So you don't smoke weed anymore?
I don't smoke. I stopped smoking like because my mom, you know, because my mom was like, "Oh, why are you quiet?" Because even my dad was saying that they said I was on drugs. Yes, they said I was on drugs because I was, you know, they said everybody was saying I was on drugs. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes when I would get angry, because I mean, know what I they go through. There's a person where wear shoe. Now I know where for the pain. You know, my mom was like, you know, my mom is a Christian. You know, like even when they were telling her I was smoking, because I respect my mom a lot. I'm the only child, or I used to respect my mom a lot. It was even these things that made me, I had to stand up for myself. Like, you know, when she would talk, I have to talk back. Normally, I'm a Benin girl. I grew up, forget music. If you know me, you know me. When my mom speaks, when your mom talks, from Benin, your mom talk, you keep quiet. You understand? You keep quiet. Even if saying a lie, she they talk. You can't tell her that you are lying. You understand me? You can't tell her you are lying. So, you know, when I saw that, you know, she was always saying, you know, the people were telling her different things. You know, people were telling her different things because she didn't used to live with me in Lagos. I was living alone. You know, I went to Lagos when I was 17 to fend for myself. I didn't have a father in my life. I worked at night. I worked at 9 to 6 job to write my wife. God knows what I've been through in my life. So I don't deserve to be going through any of this. I don't deserve it. And I believe that's the reason why they've not been able to kill me. Because what I've been through, I would have been dead. It's either they would have killed me or I would have killed myself by myself. Because it was so...
Everything that happened between the time you've met the prince till now, and you making conversion about, you know, going through all this hard thing, what do you want Nigerians to do? You know, people that might watch this episode, what is that one thing you want them to take from this particular episode? You know, I don't want it to go out of the particular thing is becoming emotional, and I don't want people to, you know, lose the main focus of what you're trying to do on this particular interview. And so for anybody that might end up watching to this particular minute, what is that one thing you want them to pick from this particular episode, from this particular section?
I'm not even going to lie. You know, I'm not going to say all I need right now. God knows. I need prayers. I need them to pray for me. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anybody should come and give me money. If you give me money, cool stuff. I was never a beggar. I was a millionaire before all of these things happened. I'm Cynthia Morgan, for crying out loud.
Cynthia, let me ask you this. Sorry to having that.
That's who I am.
Cynthia, do you think with everything you said, with everything going on, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Do you think it's more about you seeking a therapy, or is more about the spiritual way where you got to go to churches? As a Benin person, as a Nigerian person, I understand. For anybody that might be watching this, do you think what you're going through, even though you talk to Prince, even though maybe Prince might not end up giving you the opportunity, do you think, I'm going to ask you, do you have like a therapy you talk to, or is it just something you want to deal with in a spiritual way?
Well, people have actually advised me to go for therapy, back in the day. But I didn't go for therapy because this is a personal conversation. This is a spiritual situation. This is not about therapy. Some therapists might be spiritually oriented, but it's not all therapists that will be spiritually oriented. Do you understand me? So, I don't know. Now that I've finally been able to talk about it, because it was really hard for me to talk about it, like for real, because this is someone that I really, really, really cared about. Like I said, my orientation was that if you start talking about this, people are going to be happy that, okay, him and his friend, they are finally fighting. Do you understand me? Yes, you understand me. They are finally fighting. Yeah, that was why I didn't come out on time. Yes, to talk about it.
So
you understand
let me ask you this: if somebody want to help you right now, you're putting out to your Nigerians listening, and 2 things is involved. You want to get the opportunity to talk to the Prince. Let's hope that happens as soon as possible. But in the meantime, don't you think you need some kind of therapy personally? Do you think it's something you're going to be down with if somebody reach out to you on that? Let's say somebody just reach out to you from abroad.
Like for real, like it's I don't know. Let them not say I'm being stubborn, or like, oh, she doesn't need therapy. The only therapy that I need to be able to, because like for a long time, with everything that's going on in Nigeria, like especially when people talk, I never really used to care about people. You will hear it on my songs. I said, there's a line in Simatinea. I said, like, Twitter, I'm a mute and block. I mean, I care about nobody. For real. That's where I grew up. Don't care, man. Don't care. If I cared, I wouldn't have been where I am today. Bro, you don't know where I'm coming from. You don't know. So, but it got to a point, because of this very person and because of this very situation, I have to be more careful
of how you move.
John, yes, I have to be more careful. Like, okay, this one is not musical. It
has to do with mental state and spiritual, and
so,
we're talking about a whole Benin, because once you put the name out, like you said, it's like we're definitely dragging a whole Benin in between Benin and Cynthia Morgan. So if I get something from
guy, if I say, well, I'm dragging the whole Benin, let them go and check. So not be say mouth, not be say mouth. If there's one of the very few persons that care about those states, it's me. And that was the reason why I kept quiet. Even the Crown Prince knows. Yes, he knows. He knows. And that was the reason why I accorded him that respect. Because in a way, if I don't praise my stuff, nobody will praise it.
Definitely.
You understand me? So it's not like I don't owe him anything. Even like the money that he gave me, when I was going through my situation, I think that was in 2018. Everything I started then, because was when I was talking to him. That was when I got into depression. I was not depressed from the beginning.
Do you agree right now that you struggle with depression, or you don't agree with that?
Of course. Are you joking? Is there anybody that doesn't get depressed?
Oh no, it's good you put it out there. That's what I'm asking you. A lot of people doesn't know what is really going on with you for a very long time. So that's what I'm saying. This particular episode, we've been able to realize that having you online, we talk about the Prince of Benin. You don't have no intimacy like you said, but there's a soul tie behind you and him, and you want a closure.
And yes, there's a soul tie. There's a soul tie. And I don't know if it's from my understanding as a Christian, at first I thought, I was like, okay, maybe it's like I don't believe in reincarnation. I even told him it was so bad that I had to start sending him messages like, I don't believe in reincarnation. Probably I would have said maybe we had a contract in our former life.
Do you have calls, texts that I'm not saying you should give it to me, but that could prove this communication between you and Prince?
No, I found that the painful part. I changed my phone. This is a new phone, so I don't have anything. No.
Wow.
Nothing. I don't have a text message.
So
nothing.
Everything you have right now is just about your story.
Yes, it's my story that I have. Yes, I don't have nothing. Wow. My story, pictures, and maybe the accounts, my bank statement. When I refunded the 1 million naira that he loaned me.
Oh,
yes.
That's some evidence to that. Makes sense.
Yes, that's the only thing I have.
You refunded the money back to the Prince that he loaned you. Wow.
Yes. Yes.
And you have the proof.
Yes, of course I do.
And he didn't return the money back when he got the money from you, or did he call you and give you back in cash or something like that?
No, he didn't return it back. Now this is what happened. When we started talking, when I found out that I was getting depressed, like we weren't getting headway about our conversation. So when I now told him that we should be friends, so that was when I was down. My rent expired. If you were following my story from 2018, I had this crisis where I couldn't pay for my rent. It was during that period that I was talking to him. Because so when I couldn't pay my rent, I didn't ask him because I knew I already told him that we should be friends. So I know I couldn't ask him for money. I didn't want to ask him for money, so that I doesn't think I'm trying to use him. Maybe I don't want to date him or I don't want to marry him. So I'm trying to collect money. Yes. So I didn't ask him for money. I asked some other people. They said they didn't have, because even said nobody believed me that I don't have money. Do you understand? It's hard for anybody to believe. Maybe he himself didn't even believe that I don't have money. Do you understand me? Because then I left my label. I left with nothing. I left my label with nothing. Even the previous year, I had to sell my car to pay for my rent. The previous year. Yes, because I wasn't going for shows. I stopped going for shows because I didn't want them to say, okay, because you want to be eating our money alone. That's the reason why she said she wasn't going to resign our contract. You understand? So the only time I would go for show, maybe there's no money in the house, or Sakpa is bad, then maybe one show. Then maybe one show will come. I'll not say, okay, guys, let's take the show. Let's just go.
Cynthia, let me ask you this. What is happening? Are you no more giving us music? Are you coming back? We've talked about Prince. What exactly is happening to Cynthia in terms of music? Are you planning to release music? Are you trying to manage your health before going back into the music industry? What exactly are you doing right now?
Bro, first and first, I'm not saying music is of the devil, but like when I was in the music industry, I'm a Christian. Like I said, I come from a very tough Christian home. It's only my dad. My dad is not a Christian, and I didn't grow up with my dad. So maybe that's the reason why I didn't grow up with my dad. And I'm not even going to lie. When I was in the music industry, now it's God. There was never a time that I went to go and do one juju that helped me to become big in music. It was always prayers. Because I told God I was born a prophetess. So I always knew I was going to work for God. I see, but when I was growing up, I was like, "Bagbe shebi, I want a chop." You understand me? I can't say Make they don't go say person now hunger that make person they see things. Now what to make me start to do my music. I had to hustle, man. I had to hustle. You know, cause my mom and my dad, they got separated when I was like 15. So I grew up with normally. Okay, let me try to paraphrase. Let me try to brief you on that background. So my mom had me. Yes, my mom had me when she was 20. So she got pregnant with me when she was 19. So my dad rejected her. My dad said he's not the owner of the pregnancy. So my mom tried to abort me. She's not here now. She stepped out. She can collaborate or corroborate the story. So she tried to abort me 3 times.
Wow.
Yes. She tried to abort me 3 times, but it didn't work by the special grace of God. I guess I have a mission here on it, because all these things that has happened to me now start making me question. I've questioned my life in so many ways. I'm like, why didn't you just let me go? Like, nobody.
Wow.
You know, I've had to question my life in so many ways. Like, if you know, I'm gonna have to go through all this. You know, why? You know, because I've suffered. I was someone. I'm not the kind of person that, you know. I went into the industry. I didn't go there to go and be telling anybody stories. No, I didn't go and tell anybody that this is what I went through or whatever. I just focused on my music. You will even think I wasn't born in Nigeria. A lot of people didn't even.
Yeah, even your style of music wasn't something, and you know your patois was very strong back then. You're known for a patois very well in the music industry in Nigeria. People respect you for that. And you know, hearing to hear how, you know, your story, how you're born. I don't think anybody ever had that story before. And you know, it's something that I would like. For me personally, from everything I'm getting is, you know, that says a lot about you, how strong you've been. And one thing I hold so much in your interview we're having today is you said we should pray for you, and that's big. You know, when somebody say pray for me, you're not requesting for money, you're not requesting for anything right now. All you're trying to request from the Nigeria is to pray for you.
The last podcast that I had, that I tried to talk about my label, this thing was already going on. I told the lady that interviewed me, I told her that look at what I'm going through, but I don't want to talk about it. That was in 2020. She now said, okay, that I should just talk about the music part. You know, I didn't agree at first. I was like, okay, fine. Maybe if I can get my music side back, maybe I'll be able to, you know, rejuvenate and get over all these things that is going on. So I now had that interview. But when I had the interview, I wasn't in a good mental space. So when the other people, like that's the label boss, my former manager, when they came out to say all sort of things, I didn't even care, because that time I told you I had already tried to commit suicide in 2019. Yes. I tried to commit suicide in 2019, December. Yes.
Wow.
It was my mom that saw me. I can't remember it happened. I carried my cologne, my body splash, you know, because I was tired. I'm a very private person. I had my record label issue was going on since 2016, even since the beginning of the deal. That deal was very crazy. Like I signed a bad deal, but because I don't have anybody, like I had to sign the deal. If that's what's going to, you know, it's not forever now. Shebi is for 4 years. So I signed the deal. I said, if I can get exposure and know that the grace of God, I'll blow up and I'll be able to make money and I'll take care of my mom and myself.
Wow.
So I took that deal. My cousins, yes, I have cousins that I love very much. Yes, that was my idea when I started music, because you know I saw there was nothing was going on. You know, I was like, okay, what can I do? Because I was working. I started working. My first job. I've never talked about my story before.
Wow.
So yes,
And this is something I'm speechless to. I'm hearing this part of your story because I don't think I've ever seen anything like this online.
Talked about my story. No, people just think, oh, she fell from heaven. Oh, probably she's from a rich home. You know, I've never talked about my story. Maybe only people that are close to me. Then, maybe anytime I talk about my story, just to encourage the next person that everything will do all right. So, me myself, I didn't have it easy. No reason say because they see me for TV or say that's why everything, everything is nice.
Wow.
No, that's not how.
Do you feel like you want to talk about it today? Is this something you wanna share, part of the ones that you feel comfortable to tell the world? Because I'm going back to
me. I'm not hiding anything. No, me, I was never hiding anything. It was just that, guy, in this part of the world, or just me, I didn't come to this life to come and tell stories. I didn't come to this life to come and tell stories. Nobody even wants to listen to your story. You have to become something for them to even listen to your story. John, nobody wants to hear your story. Are you joking? Nobody wants to hear your story. So I didn't come and go. Even nobody even knows my father. My father's name is not Morgan. Yes. My biological. Yes.
How do you come about the Morgan?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that question. When my mom and dad got separated, so I told you my mom had me when she was 20. My dad didn't accept me. She tried to abort me. It didn't work. My grandma found out. My grandma is a Jehovah's Witness. My grandma found out that my mom was pregnant with me. So they talked to my mom. They did a lot of things. My mom now said, okay, she's going to keep me. So she kept me. So it was my grandfather and my grandmother that took care of me. In my life, I've actually bought 3 surnames in my lifetime. Wow. Yes, I would have done this on my page because obviously I have more following on my page and here. I would have done this on my page, but we're already here. So
it's a privilege. It's gonna be a history. We'll keep it and people can get to know you because this is something people doesn't know.
It's painful that I'm having to talk about my story. The way I envisioned it, how I was going to tell my story is not the way it is right now because I'm crying. I have to be strong for myself. You would never really see me cry. I never used to cry. Maybe that was even the problem because I wasn't, crying is part of human emotions.
Yep.
So maybe, and that was why I kept trying to reach the Crown Prince. I was like, okay, maybe you don't understand. Maybe because I'm always trying to, because my mom is not here. She's not in Lagos. I have to be strong for myself. I'm in the midst of strangers. I don't know my record label boss from anywhere. Now music, you see me say they do. Now they sign me. I don't know my manager from anywhere. Now music. So I cannot put my problem on anybody. So I have to be strong for myself. So that was when I said, okay, fine. Maybe, she's a tough person. I can throw anything at her. She can take it. I was like, guy, hard guy. Before I go there, make I tell you, say, see as they go for my side, though. You understand? Then I just have to be strong for myself. It's not that I'm being stubborn. I have to be strong for myself. Because if I'm not strong for myself, nobody will be strong for me. Do you understand? And if he will be truthful, he will say that I kept telling him that you are making me vulnerable. You're making me vulnerable because if I'm vulnerable, I can't walk. You understand? I can't walk. I left home when I was 17. My mom was crying. My mom saw me off to the bus station the day I left home. Okay, I think that was the second time I was going to go from Benin to Lagos on my own. She was at the bus station. She was crying. She was hiding her face. Myself, I was crying. But I have to go and walk because my dad, when I went to meet my dad, because my mom and dad, they got separated. Okay, I keep stopping the story, but there's so many things to talk about. So when they had me, I saw my dad for the first time when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Like, this is your father. Yes. That was when he came to come and accept me. That, okay, I'm really the person that gave birth, impregnated this woman. And even said they told him to come and look for me. He didn't come and look for me by himself. I think things were hard for him. My mom would be in a better position, but I know everything. Things were hard for him, and he came to come and look for me. Even that day, I can remember, he gave me 100 naira, 700 naira.
You remember how many numbers of 100 like
yes, I was 7 years old, and he gave me 7. So I can tell you for a fact, as a spiritual person, now that I'm grown, that was a ritual. It was to appease my spirit.
There's a lot of information you're giving us today. Like it's a lot. It's a lot in terms of who you are, and this my. I'll digress a little bit into music world, and we're in the state of where a lot of things are going on in the music industry where people don't understand, and you're sharing your view to us, and like people think you have it all, not knowing how you're born, how you grow, the struggles. Everybody just be like you have it, and seeing all these things now, it's a lot that you're going through. And you're managing yourself, and I'm glad you're sharing the story. To back up your story a little bit, do you think all these things have to do with your life, everything you've going through since you're a baby? How you struggle with the music industry, how you don't really know a lot. You're just thinking it's 4 years, I'll be out of it very quick, and get into it, you realize that it's more than that. Trying to get yourself out, meeting the prince, and trying to get a closure from him. Do you think all these things surrounded from how you've been giving back and everything is struggling?
Of course it does. It does, obviously. Like, the Bible says, God says, even from your mother's womb, I have known you. You understand me? So, if you check my Instagram page, or somebody that said he's the Oba, he right from when he was born, he was Oba. You cannot reject the proposal of the Oba. So I was going to respond to him, but I didn't respond because we are all who we are right from the day we were born. Even before we were born, God already knows who we are. And the king is nothing without his people. If you don't have a community, who are you going to be king of over? So we all play a pivotal role in our society. They are kings, they are queens, they are princes, they are princesses, they are prophets, they are kings. So apparently, I believe it's obviously the way I was born. Yes, that's the reason why I'm dealing with all of these things that I'm dealing with. And that's the reason why I stayed away from music. Because like I said, I've always known who I am, but I had to hustle. Right from childhood, I've always known I probably will end up being a pastor because I've always done things in that way. I was like 10 years old when I started giving people Holy Communion. I didn't even know what Holy Communion was. I'll buy biscuits. Yes, I'll buy biscuits. I used to have fellowship when I was 10 years old. There was this estate where my mom used to live. I have kids that I will preach. They will, just funny stuff.
So are you saying there's chances you might become somebody that will be preaching in the future? Is that what you're saying? Indirectly.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah. I want to say this. I don't want to take a lot of your time because I know you spend a lot of data, but I want to rephrase some things we've talked about. The first one why we're on this particular conversation is the fact that you would like to have opportunity of talking to the Prince of Benin, having to get some closure about some things that happened in the past, and for you to be able to move on. Basic, maybe by physical, by spiritual, you just want to understand some things, and you appreciate if you can give it the opportunity to talk to you. That is one. And two, you kind of the big one I'm holding is you want Nigeria to pray for you, and that's big. If somebody can request that in my world, that's very, very big. And the third one I want to say is, you talk about depression, which I'm glad you acknowledge it. Which that puts, I'm in America, a lot of people might want to reach out to you for help. And I will tell you personally from my own experience, it's something you should, not everybody try to find the one that you can entrust because I think you need it. For sanity, for everything you're going through.
That has been my biggest problem. Now trusting people is I'm not even gonna lie. That has now been my biggest people because like most of the people, 90% of the people I've ever trusted in my life, because I'm an only child. I was very trustful when I was growing up, because I would just meet anybody and say, my brother, I will take them. But you don't know, the person might not take you as their brother or their sister. So, so recently I've been very, if you check my Instagram page, I don't post pictures.
Nothing.
People send me messages. I don't respond because I don't even know what to tell you, because a lot of people that know me, know my music part, they don't really know me personally. They don't know the things I've been through in my life. You understand me? So they might not really be, I need something. That's why I'm with my mom, because now she born me. So at least if
you've been around,
she can.
That will help you too.
Yes.
So I want to ask you this from your own personal opinion, your experience, your pain, how you try to struggle with everything in the music industry in Nigeria. So it's just a question. I want to hear your opinion from people that can listen. Basically of everything you go through and what you're going through and how you understand music industry in Nigeria and being a big name in Nigerian music industry. What advice can you give young people that are females, that are males, that are coming into the music? That's something you found out when you're into the music, that you can help them. And I'll make that to be the last thing we talk about, so that people can hold something from your pain, your struggles, your lesson, your experience, in the sense that it can coach you for good things for anybody going into the music industry in Nigeria.
Well, but if I'm going to be really sincere, I'll say first and first, I feel like one of the reasons why I'm going through what I'm going through today, I wouldn't say I did a bad thing going into music because I needed money, because I wanted to go to school. That was my first reason, was because, okay, I want to go to school. Okay, what can I do? I found, okay, I can do music, but that was not my original talent that God gave to me, or that's not my original calling. So I believe if I'd stick to my calling, of which nobody helped me propel that calling. So if I'm going to talk to anybody, I'm going to be talking to parents. I'm not even going to be talking to the children now, or to kids that want to go into music or whatever. Because, we kids, or when we're younger, youthful exuberance, you want to do anything. That, you probably see this person doing it, at least, you just want to do it. Because you don't really know who you are. You don't know how powerful the person, when God creates you to do something, that's the thing that He has created you to do. If you go and do another thing, you will have problem. So that's what I feel like I'm going through. Maybe because I want to go and do music, when my calling is to be helping people realize their own calling. I was not doing music. I was now deceiving people, wearing red hair when I'm a prophet. I think, yes, I'm not even going to lie. I feel like that was the problem. That was my own problem. Wearing red hair. Red is not even my favorite color. Yes, red is not my favorite color. I don't like, I had to like red, because over time when I was wearing it, my nose ring, I was wearing nose ring. I never had a piercing on my nose. Showbiz, okay, it was my manager that said, because actually I'm a very quiet person. Yes, of course, we all have different sides. I can't be all quiet. That's why I had to speak out, because if I'm really, really quiet, they'll think they might kill me. Do you understand me? They'll kill you if you don't talk. They say even a goat. There's a goat that doesn't have teeth. If you get where you go push goat, Rich, the goat go bite you.
Most definitely.
You understand me? Yes. So, it's all deceit. Showbiz is all deceit. What you have to do for yourself is find your true calling. Serve God with all your heart. That's all I can say. Yeah, showbiz, sincerely, it's deceit. Secular music is deceit.
This question you're saying, this answer you're giving me, is this something you knew after the fame, the time you spend in the music industry, where you are right now, is why you're saying this? Or is something that's been with you, you just, like you said, it's all about making money then?
Yes.
Was it about...
Okay. No, I've always known. I've always known. But, when I got into it, I found out more. Do you understand me? I've always known. Like I said, the intention was, okay, let me just do something, make money, be able to... My intention, if you listen to my music, my dream was never to be a Nigerian artist. No. My focus was America. I want to break into the American market because my dream school was the University of California. I always wanted to go to school in the UCLA. So, and I was singing Chris Brown. Chris Brown was my mentor. I was singing Chris Brown. I was singing Rihanna. So I'm like, bro, if I do music like this, maybe I'll be so big,
What if
I'll be able to go to school.
Opportunity comes right now, though? What if the opportunity comes from this interview? What are you going to do? Are you going to jump on it or are you going to ignore it?
I don't know, man. I'm in a state, I'm in a phase in my life where, because now music is now more than just the craft. It's not more than just the craft. I see people that has children, people that should be even advising the younger people. They almost go naked performing these days. I know, people might say I'm being too religious, but I just feel like you can do all that maybe in your 20s. But once you're over 30, like, look at Nicki Minaj. I'm not trying to, Nicki, I used to like Nicki a lot, but now I don't follow her because, it's obvious that there's this personality that you have to stick to. Even if that's not who you are, in order for you to sell records, you have to stick to that personality.
That's what people go through in the music industry.
Yes.
Wow.
There's a personality that you have to stick to. Very few people will. I don't know if there's anybody. You go and be a pastor. You have to go and do Christian music if you really want to be yourself. You have to go and You have to go and do gospel songs.
That's even said it like before anymore in Nigeria. People don't really go into music industry gospel to sell. Like 5-8 years where people are really making it big. It's more like secular music. But it's been nice having you. And I think one thing you've been able to give your fans and the audience in Nigeria is the fact that the parents should be careful about how their children are going to the music. Let your call be your call. If it's not music your call, don't jump into it because the results might be different.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Prince will give you the opportunity to have the closure with him. And hopefully, who knows, this particular interview we might have people that want to really help. Me personally, having interviewed you, I'm concerned about your spiritual world and your mental state. And I'll be praying for you. Like you said on our journey, to be praying for you. And I pray God will continue to strengthen you, Amen. To guide you, to protect you.
Amen.
And I hope your voice will not be taken away from you. When I mean your voice, that means your story. And, we've been able to privilege you. You're big to me in terms of when I know you. Back in the days of Cynthia Morgan, there's a lot of names that there's no way they write Nigerian history when it comes to music that they will take your name out. Even though you said you want to do music, even though you might come back doing music, I
know it's, in recent times, because they try to silence my story, even people that used to respect me, they might not even respect me anymore, because there were so many stories out there. Like, oh, she's the one that caused a problem. She was doing drugs. She was rude. So many people, like, they successfully was able to divide my audience. You see, if you see on this feed just now, one guy they talk say, yeah, I do crack.
Yeah.
Saying no, my dealer. I go find that guy, bro. I go find that. And I beg, I don't know whether I go find the handle. I go find the guy. Then Ingo.
A lot of bad people on social media today, they don't like people to be happy. You doing this is something like,
bro, that is witchcraft right there. Anybody does not have to you don't have to put wings. You don't have to be flying at night for you to be a witch or a wizard. When you are saying something that you did not see and you said you saw it, that's witchcraft. You understand? That guy said he knows my dealer. That very guy. He said he knows my dealer.
I won't believe in that because social media. You've been in showbiz business. I'm sure you've seen more than one comment.
There was a time, like that time when I was wearing red hair, people would say different things about me. I'll be keeping quiet. Because I'm doing music. But now, even if I want to come back to music, I'm going to be myself, and I want my fans to know me. I'm not going to do music in fuck that. I don't want that anymore. Even if even if I don't win a Grammy, even if I'm not the biggest artist in the world, I want to do my thing from my core, and I want my followers to see light through me.
So use this opportunity to talk to your fans before we go. I want you to express yourself to your fans, that the ones that still believe in you, that still believe in your craft, that still want to see you, and I pray we'll keep seeing you. God will give you the strength. So let that be your roundup of tell your fans how you feel, and let them be that what they will take onto themselves.
I'm going to be sincere with my fans. Like, yeah, I'm sorry that, you know, I almost let the world shut me up, because yeah, there are times I wasn't even talking anymore. I would say something that I know who this person is. I will be saying the devil will be talking and the devil will be preaching. I'll have to keep quiet, because they don't even, you know, in this life now, if you say you the crazy, they'll say, that one don't know it. Now the devil, not everybody they follow, right? So this ahead, you understand me? So if I'm gonna be really sincere, I'll say I fought. I'm a private person. I fight privately. I'm not really someone that comes out in public to fight. It's recently that I had to start. Everything became too much. Like, I had to start saying it, even if they say I'm crazy. Let me say it. The person that did it knows he or she did it. I will say it. And if me and the person see for real life, may the person tell me, say,
what
you know, doing
saying is not true.
You understand me? May tell me, you know, you get me. So I'm going to apologize to my fans for not standing my ground. Yes.
For not standing your ground.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yes.
But I'm glad you have the confidence to do it now, though.
Yes, I'm trying.
And
I'm going to
apologize.
apologize.
Continue to strengthen you.
Yes.
For not thank you very much. Yes. I really appreciate it. I'm sure if I give it the time, basically things you've discussed with me before this particular thing is a lot. Like you might even shake the entire Nigeria, but I'm glad you're able to still tell the true part of what you decided to share today. And I pray God to give you the strength to to remain strong, and hopefully you'll be able to find that person that can talk to you mentally in terms of your handling your depression. And the little glimpse you give us from your story, I really appreciate it, because nobody knows how you manage yourself. Nobody really knows your story, and I pray God will continue to strengthen you. It's been nice having you on this particular platform, and hopefully, maybe we might have to do. Hopefully, I'm praying because I'm your fan. Hopefully, I will get to interview you in the future about when you drop a music. Is it in secular or in gospel? Either way you go, because you've been able to touch some souls that once they hear your voice, they just feel happy. And I'm glad some part of the fans are hearing your voice today in a good mood and having to see your face and having to know the real you, because a lot of people doesn't know we're using the music to judge you, and having to have you on the platform myself.
No, me, I wouldn't even say, if my fans judge me with my music, I'm not a bad person.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I'm not a bad person. So I would say they were rather judging me by my personality, the persona. Like Africans, yeah. When you wear red hair, you wear nose ring. I've been in a gathering once where I was performing with my red hair and my nose ring. It was after the performance. It was one lady that was not telling me that there was one guy that said he's a pastor. He said he's a pastor. Was sitting in front. So when I was performing, he said the guy left. He was like, that my enemy is a demon, that I shouldn't come and possess him. I laughed because if he was a real pastor, he would have come and meet me and say, "Guy, remove this red hair. You are a pastor yourself." You understand me? You would have preached to me, if you actually even thought, I was a demon or whatever it is. So, we Africans, and we're in Africa. You understand? There's a certain personality that you will portray that will make people think, okay, this person is a crazy person, or this person is on drugs, or this person is not a prostitute. Because me personally, when I was growing up back in the day, it's actually prostitutes that used to wear red hair. If I'm gonna be sincere, it was
kind of have that in Africa. As a kind of
identity. Yeah. Yes, it was actually prostitute. Even red lipstick like this, they'll say, that lady's wearing red lipstick. The person is a prostitute. So when my former manager was an American, so she didn't really see any of all those things as a big deal, but still, we thank God. That's all I can say. At least I didn't become a person. I wasn't selling a personality. You know, there's some times where you can't leave that personality. You know, before you know, you become that person. But because I knew who I was, or I know who I am, that he that is in me is greater than he that is in the world. I know that music for me was a temporary thing. So I was able to hold my ground, and that was one of the reasons why I took off the red hair. You know, I had to take off the red hair. You know, I had to unmask myself. You know, maybe tomorrow I can start wearing red hair. I don't think I will, but you know, I know that now I'm not pretending to be a person that I'm not.
You're not.
You understand me? I'm not pretending to, because the reason, like I said, the reason why I started wearing red hair, my manager said I was too quiet. If you ask most people that have met me in person, you wouldn't even believe I'm an artist. Showtime. You understand? Showtime. So it's only showtime. Like, you know, when it's showtime, you know, we'll go in. So they were like, oh, you're too quiet. You need something that will make people know, you know, when you come in, so, you know, make you have that personality.
Your personality. Yes. That they can know you for this.
Yes, that's how I started wearing red hair. You know, so I was like, okay, that's gonna make the money, bro. Oh, yeah, let's go. At least I don't have to hey, do you get me? I don't have to do fraud. You know, I don't have to steal people's money. I'm not stealing people's, even though I still feel like I was stealing people's money because I wasn't 100% that person, you know, that they thought it was. You know, but at least I wasn't telling I feel I was lying. Yes, I was lying. But in my music, you will know that, okay, this person, okay, but when it comes to the personality, I probably, yes, you know, was lying because, you know, red is not, you know, I had to do that for sure.
You didn't know better then, and now you know, because you just said it, like, you know, the advice to give your fans. Yes. And, you know, thank you very much, so much. And it's been a privilege having you. I pray God will strengthen you, like you said. And I pray God will give you the strength to keep standing your ground. Now you make it known to the world where you stand. And I pray the Prince will be able to give you that particular audience you need. And I pray God give you the strength to be able to fight your battles and not to give up while you keep staying strong. You've been a very strong person in terms of, you know, even doing this. So thank you very much. It's a privilege having you on our platform. I really appreciate it. Stay blessed. And if anything come up, if I have anybody from here that would like to reach out to you, I will definitely let you know too. And I thank you so much and keep staying blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Bye.